Hi everybody, welcome to the Messy Cook by Dale. I'm so glad you're here with me today. I hope you're all doing well, and thanks again for all your support and your subscribing and all of that sort of thing. I really appreciate it. Today, as you can see, we already got started. We had a few bloopers at the beginning of our taping, but anyway, we're all good now. So we are going to make today shortbread cookies. This is a favorite at Christmas time. I only make them at Christmas time and everybody loves them. This is a recipe that was handed down for generations, really. Not my recipe, not my family, but a friend of ours came from Scotland and she brought this recipe and it's been in her family for generations. It's called Great Great Grandma's Shortbread Cookies. Very simple, 3 ingredients only. And they're easy to make and they are the best shortbread cookies you'll ever want to eat. Right, Dan?
Yep.
Right.
Even I can make them. That's not easy.
There you go.
Sometimes I make them.
Well, then you should be on this side of the camera.
Not going to happen.
Not going to happen. Okay, so we are going to be sifting 4 cups of flour, all-purpose flour. Again, this sifting isn't even in the recipe. I don't think they did it way back when. But I always like to sift my flour, and again, it's, there might be impurities in there or God knows what. Anyway, I sift it. So there's the flour. Into the flour, the 3 ingredients. Into the flour goes icing sugar or fruit sugar. Fruit sugar is very hard to find. I had a heck of a time trying to find it, and I didn't. So you can use icing sugar for this. So we're going to put in 1 cup of icing sugar. I think I'm going to sift that as well because it's kind of clumpy. Okay, there's 1 cup of icing sugar. You'll want to preheat your oven to about 325. This has a very, very slow oven to bake because they're very delicate and you don't want to over bake them. You want them just barely done. Okay, there we go. All kinds of dust in the air. Oh my God. All right, next, a pound of butter. I use half the salt. The only way to do this, you don't do it with a machine because it just makes the dough really tough. The only way to do this is with your hands. So here we go. So bear with me. I'm just gonna cut up the butter. Don't try to use margarine with this. This is butter and butter only. All right, so this is going to take a bit. It's good for the wrists, it's good for the hands, it's good for the soul, and it's so worth it. And this makes a whole bunch of cookies, by the way. And I like to make smaller cookies for when I'm doing shortbread because they are so rich. Really, 1 cookie sometimes is enough. Well, generally. On a good day. Dan loves when I do the cookies for the holidays or whatever because there's always a few left over. He gets to have his coffee and some cookies. He has a sweet tooth, as does our dog Casey. So when Dan is eating my cookies, Casey's following him around the house hoping he gets some crumbs on the floor or whatever.
He doesn't just get the crumbs.
No, I know he doesn't. My cookies end up in his mouth sometimes. But I've always baked, and a couple of times, we've had Casey now 14, almost 15 years, and a couple of times he's gone up on the counter and ate my cookies or cakes or whatever. He's got a sweet tooth, that dog. Okay, so we're almost getting there. Now, this is like kneading a dough for bread or whatever. It's got to be nice and smooth, and you got to knead it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it onto the counter now. I mean, so few ingredients, and it's fantastic. So I'm going to knead this. Hopefully none will get on the floor, although I'm not making any promises. Oopsie. Oh my gosh. So if you notice, there's no vanilla. There's no extra stuff, no baking powder, no baking soda. We've got butter, flour, and icing sugar or fruit sugar. That's the way they made them in the old days. They didn't have all that other fancy schmancy stuff. Now you see it's coming together, and I'm going to continue kneading it, trying to get everything in there. The only effort for this cookie is that I can't use machines. I got to use my own brute strength and power, because you don't want to work the dough at all. I mean, I've never tried it. Maybe you can, but I stick to recipes. I'm not that adventurous to try new things. Well, that's not necessarily true, but this is going to be okay. See, it's coming together really nicely now. Now I'm going to knead this until it starts to crack. That's when you know it's ready to be rolled out. Oh, and you know what I didn't do? That's okay. There's that pink thing over there, Dan. Do you think you can get it for me? No. If not, I can use something I have here. Ooh. Great, thank you. Cookie cutter. I mean, you don't even have to use a cookie cutter. You can use a knife and just make the cookies into squares. That's how they used to do in the old days. Now you see it's really coming together nicely. Starting to crack. So it's almost there. So I'm just going to go around and pick up some of the loose dough hanging around. Okay, so let me get rid of some of this stuff. I am going to put it here. And you see, no, it's okay. You see, my hands were right into the mess, but look, nothing, because it just goes right back into the cookie, into the dough. Okay, so we're almost there. Feels so great. So like I said, you're going to turn on your oven at 325 or 320, like really low, and you're going to watch it, really watch it. Generally it's good for, I'm going to say 10 minutes maybe, but again, you want to watch it. Okay, look, now I want to show you the cracks. See the cracks? That's what you want. You want to, when you're kneading it, it gets cracked. That's when you know it's ready. Okay, so I'm going to take half of it. Now, at some recipes at this point, you would wrap this in cellophane and put it in the fridge to cool it. This recipe doesn't call for that. They didn't have time for that sort of thing in the old days.
Didn't have refrigerators either.
That too. For sure. Okay, so you want to make sure your surface is well floured. Okay, so now we are going to roll it. The best way to roll it is to put some stuff on your rolling pin, of course, some flour. And you want to sort of do this to begin with. It gets it going, and it works out well. Okay, so let me put some more flour into here. I don't want it sticking. All right, so now we're going to roll it out. You are not going to roll it out thin. I like my shortbread cookies nice and thick. I'm going to say, what do you say that is, Dan? 1/4 inch? And half an inch? 3/8. 3/8. Okay, 3/8. 3/8. Almost half an inch, right? Yeah. Okay, so I've got a scalloped edge here, just to make them pretty. These are a little bit bigger than I usually do, but we're going to, look how pretty that is. We are going to put them on a cookie sheet that is lined with parchment or a silpat. And so that's nice and thick. And that's what I like. I like a good, thick cookie. So let's keep going around. Now you can make them thinner than that. And like I said, I've made them a lot smaller, almost like bite size, one bite. When you're entertaining, sometimes, you know, somebody does want to walk around with a cookie in their hand. So you make these bite-sized cookies and they work out perfectly. Okay, so I'm going to continue doing this. I'm going to shove them in the oven, 325, but I'm going to watch them. I'm going to start watching them around the 5-minute mark. You want them to be lightly, ever so lightly browned around the edges, ever so lightly. And yeah, we'll see how they turn out. See you in a bit. Hi everybody, so we're back and here's our shortbread cookies. They turned out wonderful. I have to say I put them in the oven and I left them in there for about 9 to 12 minutes. I was very careful. This is about how you want them to be. Almost barely done and around the edges just slightly browned, you know. Because they do cook a little bit once you take them out of the oven, believe it or not, when they're sitting in the hot pan. You want to sit them in the hot pan for about 10 minutes and then you transfer them to a cooling rack. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this. This is great grandma's shortbread cookies. So I'm going to give it a try. Perfect. Very good. Perfect. Reminds me of Christmas. Okay, so thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoy these cookies. Please try them. They're a bit of a workout. You know, you've got to do some work getting them done, but it's well worth it. Well worth it. Please like and subscribe if you like what you saw here today. Please spread the word. I really appreciate that. Stay safe, and most of all, forget the mess and enjoy your cookies. So good.